Okay, we are live here. Welcome to the 8th edition of the Shadow Collective podcast. This is Darth Eldor, and as always, I'm here with my good friends Swampgrass and Andy Beads. How you both doing tonight?
Very
Hello,
well. How are
hello.
you?
Doing pretty well. Doing pretty well.
Doing good over here too.
How's the week been?
Busy.
Yeah, mine too. Very busy week.
Yeah,
Lots of spring cleanup and all that kind of stuff.
yeah. Well, I haven't even thought about spring cleanup yet. That's funny.
Yeah, spring cleanup, man. It's a fun time.
Yeah.
Find things after everything's melted in the snow, and you're like, oh wow, where'd that come from? Like, see how much dog feces is out in your lawn after a whole winter. Yeah, that's fun.
Well, we don't get that much snow down here, but I'm sure.
Okay, well, talking to the Canadian boy over there.
Yeah. Yeah, we actually had snow a couple weeks ago. Still, so.
Yeah, I heard about that. Oh man, tough break.
Yeah, that's kind of scary. I mean, I don't think we've seen anything close to that in a while, but I got nothing else to say on that. All right, so let's get into the news for today. Unfortunately, we're going to be starting out with a little bit of bad news. Unfortunately, we just found out this week that Disney is going to be closing down the Galactic Star Cruiser, which, if you guys don't already know, is the hotel that they had set up. I guess apparently it's just not working out. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think from the very beginning, they kind of shot themselves in the foot with this thing. Just with the extreme amount of money that any family has to pay for a night in this Galaxy hotel, it's just ridiculous. It's like what, $3,000 a night or something, like. And upwards, I think that's like a starting price is $3,000, and it's like upwards like $5K or something.
Yeah,
Absolutely ridiculous. Like, why? How would they think this is a good idea? Like, who were they? Who were they? Who were they like? Sort of looking for with?
Yeah, like who is their target?
Who is their target audience of this thing? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I know it's supposed to be for families, but come on, like. If I have a family of four, you think I'm paying, you know, I wonder, like, if it is it like it's probably like $3K per room and not per person. I guess it's based off like just like a hotel, I guess. But still, like, I don't know, man. Like that's yeah, they seem to have shot themselves in the foot right off from the get go.
yeah, I can't agree with you more. It's like because when they came up with the idea, I'm like, that sounds awesome. It's like the first thing in my mind is like, oh, I can't wait to try to go down there to do something like this. And then they followed it up with the pricing, and I just looked at it, and it's like, first thing in my mind, I just started laughing. It's like, are they out of their minds? It's like
Yeah.
there's just no way. So it's so unfortunate because it was such a great idea.
Yeah, it looks so cool. Like seeing what some of the rooms look like and stuff like that. It's like, man, that's pretty awesome. But yeah, if it's not affordable, yeah, it's kind of
I
hard
mean,
to have that as a business model when you rely on having constant business, but nobody can afford it. So
yeah. Plus, I mean, it wasn't just being in a hotel for a weekend. It was like you're immersed in a story while you're there, and you get to like take part in an adventure, so to speak. And it's like the whole idea behind it just sounded really fun. It's like all you had to do was slash the price at least in half, if not more, and people probably would have been more
Yeah,
interested in
no,
it.
it'd be way more than that.
I'm trying to be nice.
For that, like, hello.
I'm trying to be nice.
I know you are, but I'm saying, like, for the average family to afford that, like, give me a break.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. That's like more pricey than the top hotels on the Strip in Vegas.
It's like, yeah, I mean, you could go to like some of the richest. So I mean, I'm sure they probably cost as much or more in Dubai or somewhere like that. But it's like you're talking about the richest places in the world. It's like I would know.
Yeah, and it seemed like I think the way that they marketed it too was, I think you had to buy. I don't think you could pay for one night. It was like a double night thing. So it's like a 2-night stay, and you have to pay over $5,000 for a 2-night stay in this place, right? And I don't think they offered a 1-night stay. It was either 2 or nothing, right?
Well, I think it's because it was always set where, again, you're part of said Star Wars adventure, and you're kind of playing out this story.
Yeah, I get that. I get it. I understand the concept. It's just like bring it back to reality here. Like $5,000, you give your head a shake. Like I honestly, like that's unreal. Like you're sort of marketing this towards people who make, $500,000, $250,000 a year. It seems like the average person who makes like under 100,000, a year. Like it's crazy.
I mean, I can see if you're taking a once in a lifetime trip as opposed to like say
no once in a lifetime.
Yeah, I mean like and even then it's like there's so many better things I could do.
No,
I think
okay. I went to Galaxy's Edge, okay, and hands down, even for that one day I spent at Disney, it was a little over probably $1,000. Like, not even close. 2 days it wouldn't even match that.
I can see that.
And it was just the same kind of immersive experience at Galaxy's Edge as this would probably be, other than you staying overnight. You know what I mean? Like,
I can see that.
So, I don't know, man. It's
what I was gonna say is I think they should basically shut it down, rethink the model, obviously bring the price down considerably, and instead of making it like the adventure, just make it a regular hotel. Go in for a night if you want, live like see what it's like to stay in a room that's like Star Wars. Maybe you still have the rooms where instead of windows you have the screens and it looks like you're in space or something. I mean, you could still have all of that. Just I don't need a 7-day story to make it work. And
but I don't know, cut down the story.
Yeah,
exactly. Didn't they already have the windows though? Like they had the to make it look like you're in space though. Right?
Yeah, that's what it was. Because technically, you're supposed to feel like you're on a Star Cruiser or a spaceship.
Cruiser in space. Yeah, I gotcha.
Which I like the idea, but
great idea. I love it. I thought it was a great idea for sure. I just don't get. I don't get why. What's the point? They put so much money into this. I would imagine. I don't know how much money, but I don't get the point of closing it for good. Like why don't you just close it down for a little bit, rethink the whole marketing thing. Don't scrap it. I wouldn't scrap it. Just try to figure out another way to bring it back out to the public where it's affordable for people to experience this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they're really stuck to this model that they wanted to go with. That's all I can think of.
Well.
Which, I mean, hey, then joke's on you guys. That's all I can say.
Well, I mean, that's nuts, man. Like, unreal.
But yeah, like I said, you could definitely bring it down. Like I said, rethink it, make it where you could stay for one night, just enjoy yourself, and go on from there. And they would make money hand over fist with it, but what do I know?
Is it something where, like, did it always cost that much, or was it?
Oh yeah,
From the get-go, I think.
Oh, okay.
yeah. That was
crazy.
the running joke from the beginning.
Yeah.
It's like, to be honest with you, I'm almost half surprised that it lasted as long as it did.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I wonder how it's survived through COVID, because even just regular businesses struggled so badly, right, when they were affordable.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even think it opened until after
It
like
was
the
after
worst
that?
until after the
Oh.
worst of it was over.
I see.
Well, 12, yeah, so 12 months. So it's been a year. So 12 months as of March, I think it's what it was.
Okay, yeah. So the worst of it was done by then. Yeah.
Yeah, they were, I think it says here they were booking, they went from like booking like 5 or 6 to like 2 a week, I guess. I think it drastically. And like, it's funny because I saw the whole thing. I've watched, my son watches one of these YouTube, I don't know, families or whatever they are, like, and you know, a YouTube family, somebody who makes millions of dollars in YouTube, of course, can go to one of these places, you know, makes lots of money.
Yeah, that's their
so
target audience right there.
That's their target audience. It was the YouTube
Yeah.
The
content
YouTubers.
creators. They're
Yeah.
like, hey guys, come and shoot your YouTube channel in here. So that's kind of how I experienced it, and I was like, yeah, I'm good. Like, you know,
Yeah, it's pretty much the people that sit there and they Disney has pretty much worked out the deal with them. Yeah, just come in for free because you're giving us free publicity by going on YouTube and showing everybody what we're doing.
I mean, yeah, maybe like it's possible. I mean, I obviously, like these guys, some of these YouTube channels have, you know, millions of watchers and stuff, right?
Massive followings, yeah.
Massive followings, so it would make sense. It's a
Well-
good marketing ploy.
Well, I just say it because I mean, you look at some of these people, and it's like some of these people. They're in. If you look at their channels, they're in Disney World like every weekend. It's like I don't care how many millions of dollars you have. Who's going in there every weekend?
I love in this
So
article where it says we should have spotted the warning signs then. Like, you know,
should have.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like
Disney
yeah,
announced it was reducing its weekly bookings from 3 or 4 bookings a week to just 2. Yeah, we should have spotted the warning signs then.
it's like,
Well,
it's
Yeah,
like maybe
should have done something about it before that happened.
it's like maybe you should have spotted the problems when, say, I don't know, you put the pricing out and everybody was laughing on every form of media.
shouldn't have that been the red light right there? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
people were already making fun of it. Like, we can't afford this. Yeah, so it's a shame, but it is what it is. Like,
Yeah, and that's pretty much all I can say at this point. But
Yeah,
I
it
know
would
we've
be
kind
cool
of
if
harped on it
somebody,
a bit.
Yeah, it would be cool if somebody invests into trying to, whatever, recover the project, but yeah, seems like a failure, so not many investors are really looking for failures.
Yeah, pretty much.
and like they tried to tie this in as well, like into the story. They had made this like Princess and the Scoundrel, where Han and Leia had their honeymoon on the ship, and you know, on the actual ship that was blah blah blah. So they try to tie it into like a tie-in novel or something, sort of like what they did with Galaxy's Edge. Where they had these like tie-in like comic books and stuff for whatever it was, to try to like boost the story from, you know, from around and whatever it is. So, but yeah, it's a shame. Like they started a whole thing and it's probably not going to go anywhere.
I mean, it's cool if they try to do stuff like that, but yeah, at the end of the day, just too much.
Doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next thing. I think we've beaten this thing to death. So
Have we? One more? Yeah. $5,000 for 2 nights, guys. Come on. Give me a break.
Crazy, crazy.
Give me a break.
It kind of reminds me though of this guy I know, like a friend of a friend. He makes all this money doing whatever. Anyways, went on one of those zero gravity flights. You ever heard of those?
Yeah, I've heard of those.
Yeah.
They look
Where
like
they just
fun.
yeah, it goes like up and then it like kind of does a dive, so the people inside experience zero gravity and they have like space suits on and stuff. $500,000. That's what it costs to go on that.
Really?
So this, yeah. So this guy that I know that had gone on that, he was on the same flight as Rihanna, so he had a cool picture with like Rihanna and other people that were on the flight. And then yeah, he's like, oh, it's a fun thing to do if you got 500K sitting around. I was like, you're
just shut it. Like, just like,
yeah.
who has? Like, oh my God.
Just half a millisecond.
Yeah, just
Whatever.
it's sitting behind in my couch. Just let me hold on.
Yeah, if you got that sitting next to the fireplace that you were going to burn this week, take this flight.
Oh, jeez. How many things can you do with $500,000? Like, give me.
Apparently not that many, so...
When you have everything then. I would imagine he has everything then that he wants, then he had $500K to just spend on something, like...
Well, the thing is, he lived with his parents, and he just got like massive amounts of money. He creates spam emails, so basically has no true regard for the value of money. He never lived on his own, never anything like that.
Right.
So yeah,
All right.
pretty crazy. Crazy world we live in.
5K. All right, let's move on.
Alright. So...
I mean, with 500,000, you could probably buy a plane, right?
Yeah, do it yourself. Yeah, like...
I'm thinking I'll
Zero G, just fly. Yeah. Like,
thinking I'll buy my own hotel and start my own Star Wars hotel, and I'll be good to go.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh my gosh, like... Charge it like a normal hotel. You'll have all kinds of people flocking in.
Yeah, no.
Oh yeah.
Like seriously, like.
Yeah.
All right, so Sally will be sticking with the bad news for a couple minutes, but apparently there's a strike going on in Hollywood with the writers.
The writers' strike, yeah.
And it's going to be delaying some of the new Star Wars series coming out at this point. I mean, we've already got confirmation that Mandalorian Season 4 is going to be pushed back. We know that Skeleton Crew has been pushed back a little bit. I believe a couple of the shows have made it through, like Ahsoka. I believe they're past it. I know the Acolyte, I think they were close, but they're still going to be caught up in a little bit of it.
Skeleton Crew is already wrapped up their filming though.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was gonna say.
okay,
I thought
so that's
they had
good.
I thought they had like an advanced screening somewhere where some people have actually seen the film. So
Yeah, I think
wow, okay.
Skeleton
Or
Crew
the
is
show.
still going to be out on time for. Yeah, that's one of the ones that the writing thing's gonna skip.
That's cool. I know definitely, like I said, Mandalorian Season 4, Andor Season 3.
Season 2.
Yeah, Season 2. I'm way off right now. Definitely one of those days for
Follow
me.
the script, man.
jumping ahead to next year.
A little ahead of myself, maybe.
No, he's making an Andor Season 3, even though they said
there
they're
we
not
go.
making
Well,
another one. Right?
Well, what I meant was Bad Batch Season 3.
Right. Gotcha. Yeah.
Let's see here. Tales of the Jedi, the new season of that is apparently under that. And looks like they were making a Season 3 of Star Wars Visions. Which I wasn't even aware of.
Greenlit that before Season 2 came out.
Which actually makes me happy because, I mean, our last podcast we sat there, we went over Season 2, and so far I've been very happy with that series, so I'm glad to see them
it's
coming
pretty
out with
awesome.
more. So, what are your thoughts on this?
On the strike itself, I mean,
Well,
it's
I mean,
funny. Oh, on this? Oh, okay.
on everything in general, I guess, and with the strike itself,
Well,
how it's affecting Star Wars.
it definitely sucks. I mean, like, well, honestly, this year, I mean, we're still getting Ahsoka and we're still getting Skeleton Crew, which is nice. And it also says that the Acolyte is not affected as well. I believe it also says that the Acolyte is within its final days of filming. That's what this article says. So that may not even be affected either. So we still might see that in 2024. I mean, depending on how long this strike goes, all these writers that already make loads of money want more money. So it's kind of silly, but
Yeah, that's the biggest thing that always bugs me with these type of strikes. Like, people that are making like the higher end salaries in the world are bitching that they don't make enough money to do something that they love. Like, come on,
I know, right?
just go to work. Like, everybody else goes to work and they make less money than you, so let's go.
You can say it. Give your heads a shake, guys. Give your heads.
That's right.
Yeah.
Give your head a shake, writers.
Yeah.
you're listening.
Writers.
Go write something, please.
I mean,
Please.
ultimately, we're not going to see the effect of this until, next year. Because, like, if they're saying that, like it says here, like Andor is supposed to debut 2024 in August. So if they're saying that it's going to be a little longer, we may see that in 2025. Mandalorian season 4 project is expected to drop in early 2025, with filming expected to start this September, apparently.
I mean, the only one that really gets me though is Mandalorian season 4, because we're talking about a writer's strike, and as far as I knew, it was already
It
read.
was already done.
So
Yeah, but I think they're more talking about like on-set rewrites,
Yep.
like just small
Yep.
alterations to the script or whatever.
So there won't be any writers on set if they keep like if they can film whatever they have, but if they have to readjust
change something
on the fly, there's not going to be anybody there. Like,
okay, I guess I can understand that.
Yeah.
I mean, I know in my case, I don't know enough about what's going on with the writer's strike to really say anything. I mean, obviously, if it's just about we're rich and we want to be richer, then yeah, what the hell, get back to work.
yeah,
But
it's ridiculous. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if there's more to it, then I don't know.
okay,
I'd have to see
like,
what the more to
says,
it is.
It says here, like in the beginning, it says ongoing strike for fair pay and better working conditions. So maybe the writers are being treated like crap. I don't know, like.
I mean, does somebody have a gun to their head? Like,
Right?
this,
Like,
shred it
are you
now!
doing the job that you've always wanted to do, being a writer industry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well then,
Yeah, and from what I've seen, like, Hollywood treats staff pretty well, but it's hard to.
I think it just
Hard to
depends
say
on
what
the
they're
company,
actually
though, too, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. There's been stories told about how, Disney and Star Wars, or Disney treats some of their people, I guess, like, or other companies, I guess, would, there's always going to be somebody who thinks they're not being treated fairly, probably, or not getting paid enough. I think but I mean, I would say I would be more, okay, fine, like, better working conditions, okay, but more money, like, just, whatever. Anyways, it's just me.
Yeah. And like I said, I hope the strike ends quickly and we can get back to it, so we don't really have to worry about major delays. But I guess it'll last as long as it does. So there's not much more I can say on that.
Yeah, I mean, we will, like I was saying, like, we'll only. I mean, we still getting our shows. So hopefully there's not a huge gap between any Star Wars stuff even though I mean we've been fairly. 'Cause, I mean, back in the day, there was always huge gaps between Star Wars projects, right? So we've been fairly, what's the word?
I'd go with blessed.
Yeah, I was thinking the same word.
We've been what?
Blessed.
Yeah, that's the word. We've been very fortunate. That was the other
Yeah,
word I was
there
trying
you
to
go. There you go.
get the wheels spinning in my head here. Very fortunate with the amount of Star Wars content that we've been receiving. So yeah, I mean, hopefully, like you're saying, if hopefully it doesn't go back, it doesn't delay for too long. I don't know how long the strike's been going. Like, do you guys know how long?
I don't know the timeline, but I am reading about it. It's saying basically, kind of the era of the pandemic kind of messed with the writers because everything moved more towards streaming services. They grew in such a big way with Netflix and all that kind of stuff that basically they're expecting more out of writers, so they're working much longer hours and all that kind of stuff. It says that their demands appear reasonable, but they're gonna lose while winning. So, like, basically they're kind of taking a hit to try to get better pay in the future. But oh man, I don't. Again, these people, I'm pretty sure these people make pretty good money.
Like, but I can see the better working conditions. Like, if you're saying that, these companies are expecting longer hours from these writers, okay, right? But then it comes back around. Yeah, you're already making like so. I would work 12 hours a day if I was making, So, but I mean, some of them are working 12 to 16 hours a day, writing and working on sets and all that stuff, right? But I don't know. Like, it's just the money seems to balance out. Like, but I mean, that's just coming from somebody who doesn't make a lot of money, I guess. But
yeah, that's the thing though. That's the perspective of most people. Like, probably over 90%, probably 90% of people in North America make less money than these writers, most likely. So, kind of hard to have sympathy for somebody when they have, they got it pretty good.
So, I'm just gonna, like, I just want to say something about the writers' strike, though. Like, I feel like there has been a writer's strike before, though.
Yeah,
it says it's the first time in 15 years, but it's not. I feel like it's. Has it been 15 years since the like? Because I remember the last strike. I remember it was during the Transformers, the second Transformers movie, or one of the Transformers movies was pushed, or it was released too early, or I don't know, they did something where it was like not. I think it was like around where there was a writer's strike or something. I mean, it could be 15 years ago. And
I remember one of my shows getting like. I remember one of my shows that I was watching, their season got chopped in half because of the writer's strike. Like, halfway through, they stopped it, and then they continued the show like the next year with the rest of the other half of the season. But yeah, for some reason I can't remember what show exactly that was. I want to say maybe Sons of Anarchy. Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah, I wouldn't remember that. Well,
last strike, 14 weeks, beginning at the tail end of 2020.
It almost sounded like you cut out there when you were giving that time.
Yeah,
period.
I didn't.
Did I?
Hear it.
Yeah.
So the last strike, 14 weeks. It lasted for 14 weeks. It was back in 2007.
Yeah, it seems like a while ago. Like a long
Well,
while ago.
I mean,
like longer
years.
than. Well, no, I'm saying just like longer than. It feels like it was sooner than that. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, again, like I said, hopefully it'll just be short and we won't have to worry about much. But
Hopefully.
all right. Well, moving on to the next one, which I would call not news at all, really. We got a story basically saying that the Ahsoka show would be missing a major new character as we found out that from the Big Thing podcast, which is done by Christian Harloff on YouTube, that he had an interview with Freddie Prinze Jr., who plays Kanan Jarrus. And Freddie Prinze came out to say that, no, I will not be in the Ahsoka series as Kanan, which I don't know why the question would even be asked, but that's just me considering the character is no longer living at that point in Star Wars. So, yeah, he's not going to be in Ahsoka. What do you guys think?
Okay, well, the first thing that comes to my mind would be, I don't think it's a silly question, because where, these movies and TV shows like to bring back, the Force ghosts of these fallen Jedi. I was seriously hoping that they would try to do something like that with Kanan, just as a cameo. Like, it doesn't have to be like, 2 or 3 episodes, just one episode. They find, there's a scene with Ezra, and he figured out how to talk to Kanan or something. That would be super cool. But that's all. That's all I would want. Like, I don't want Kanan in the whole series.
Yeah.
I mean,
shoulder, like,
or even like if he read some kind of like thing that Kanan wrote, and then they did it like in Kanan's voice or something like that. That would be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess a flashback or something would have been nice too, but at the end of the day, I mean, if anybody was going into Rebels thinking this guy's going to be there as a prominent character in the series, I don't know what you were I don't know what you were thinking in the first place.
As a prominent, definitely not, 100%. Like,
it would definitely be disrespectful to his sacrifice. He's like, sacrifice myself so you guys can live. Just kidding, I'm still.
Is
here.
that Kanan? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know so much about the Force Ghost thing, just because, I mean, it was people were made to think that this was like a very exclusive thing. Qui-Gon Jinn was the first to discover it, and only really a very select few knew how to do it. So I don't want to see it where everybody's able to do it all of a sudden. But I mean, it just I don't know, it just seemed weird.
But also too, they kind of changed the story on that. So like in the Clone Wars, Yoda talks about the Force Ghost thing. He's like, yes, Kenobi, you have to go on this journey so that you can, be a Force Ghost and all that. And then he goes on his journey and stuff, and then they when they remastered the what's it called, the third of the old classic movies, not Empire,
the prequels.
No, the OG.
Return of the Jedi.
Oh, back to special editions, you mean?
Yes, Return of the Jedi. Yeah, when they remastered them.
Okay.
They put Anakin as a Force Ghost in the ending of the film, right? So, which obviously there's no way he could be a Force Ghost. He's, turned to the dark side, all that kind of stuff. So I thought that was kind of weird.
Well, he was like, him being a Force Ghost. Like, I know in the original ones, it had the original actor who played Anakin under the Darth Vader helmet and whatnot. So he was the original guy in the Force Ghost, right? And
no, but I mean, like, the final scene of the movie where it shows old Ben and Yoda as Force Ghosts, like, kind of giving Luke the salute. They added in Anakin as young Anakin, like Christian.
Well, the young Anakin, I guess.
Hayden Christensen. Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, there was like 3 different people that shared all of the different properties of Vader at that point. I don't even remember the name of the guy who was actually standing there in the first place. But otherwise, it was David Prowse that was in the suit, and that wasn't David Prowse standing there.
No.
And then it was obviously James Earl Jones, and we all know it definitely wasn't him standing there. So, but
what I'm saying is, like, there's no way Anakin could be a Force Ghost. He never went on that journey. He turned to the dark side. Once he turned to the dark side, he can't do that kind of Jedi stuff anymore.
He redeemed himself at the end of Jedi, didn't he?
Yeah, he was redeemed at the end.
Sort of, but it doesn't like replace the journey of how to become a Force Ghost. You have to go like learn how to do it on a specific planet and all that kind of stuff, according to Yoda in the Clone Wars. So.
Well, I mean, that being said, I mean, it's not to say that he couldn't have gone on a similar type of journey somewhere along in the story.
Yeah,
it's just we haven't seen that journey yet. So
I don't think Obi-Wan did he?
Yeah, that was the episode.
That was it? Okay.
Yeah, because Yoda wanted Obi-Wan to go on the journey to become a Force Ghost and reconnect with Qui-Gon.
I believe it was more just so that he could talk to Qui-Gon, so that Qui-Gon could help guide him.
Yeah, and then I think Qui-Gon taught him how to be a Force Ghost. Like, it sounds really weird the way they were saying this because it's not worded like that, but I can't remember exactly what they call it.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact wording of it either, but
yeah.
But we don't. I mean, I think we get the idea of what it was. But yeah, I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, nobody should be too surprised, but by this news. But sorry if you guys want to see Freddie Prinze. Sorry, and it's not gonna happen.
I like how what he said though too. I'm too old for that stuff. Huh? Am I cutting out again?
There, yeah. But yeah, that is. I thought that was pretty hilarious that he said that as well.
Spiking.
But yeah, like I said, almost kind of not really news, but good at a time when we don't have much to talk about. So, let's move on from there. Apparently, we have a new date for Skeleton Crew. They're telling us that it looks like they're saying that the window is going to be either November or December of 2023 that we're going to see this. I think that kind of really falls in line with what we were expecting anyway. So I'm not surprised by it, but I mean, it'll be good.
I didn't even know that we had a month. I thought we only had the year, like they just said 2023 sometime.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
So, I mean, to know that's going to come out around that time, I'm totally for it. I mean, we're definitely not going to have much going on at that period, so I'm happy to see it. And, yeah, I'm looking forward to the show. Even though I still don't know a great enough deal about what it's about, but yeah, I'm still excited for it.
Yeah. Seems pretty awesome. I like, what's his name? Jude Law. I like him as an actor, so I think he will probably do a good job, whatever he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, it looked good. I mean, they brought the kids out for Celebration for the most part, and that was interesting. I really want to see a trailer for this thing, so that's really where it comes down to for me. I mean, where do we at now? It's been, about a month and a half since the end of Celebration. I mean, hey, Lucasfilm, maybe it's time to release some of those trailers.
Eventually, like soon. Like they're not.
Yeah.
It's getting close. So they want to aim for that end of the year release there. So.
Yeah, and it seems like they have been cutting things pretty close, going up to these things. But it'd be nice to see them just open it up. Let's get to see some of this stuff.
But it would be nice, like, Ahsoka's in August, and then Ahsoka leads up into Skeleton Crew. It'd be nice little like transition, sort of like the whole cool. Bad Batch and Mandalorian sort of thing that was going on, right?
Yeah, and that was great. I mean, I mean, we kind of
Yeah.
just had stuff going straight through. It was, I mean, a lot to cover, a lot of fun to watch, and yeah.
Yeah, I almost wish those were separated out a bit so they didn't have that overlap period. Personally, I would have liked that
Or maybe-
more. If it was like,
Or maybe they postpone Skeleton Crew, they push it, which I wouldn't want, but now that they know that the writer's strike is on, they're gonna try to like fill a gap somewhere. I hope they don't, but I'm just saying like there's gonna be a huge gap if there's nothing next year. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that would be unfortunate, but
yeah.
but
like,
yeah, I'm
they-
kind of hoping
you-
that doesn't happen.
Yeah, like you're saying, they might like hold on to it so they have something to
Yeah, maybe.
Whatever.
I don't know.
keep it going. Yeah,
I
hopefully,
mean,
yeah.
like
hopefully
they haven't released a trailer yet. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
Well, yeah, like I said, the only thing that's been seen for it so far is what people saw for Celebration.
Celebration,
And yeah, I mean, those people walked out happy, and I want to see what they saw.
I actually
Sorry,
did
you're a little
see
more
like a leaked thing, but then I kind of like stopped myself from watching it. I'm like, no, don't watch it. I want to be surprised.
I don't think it's so much that I would want to be surprised. Just I want to see. You get some of those things, and the quality on them are so bad sometimes. You could barely make.
Oh, yeah,
Sometimes
it
you
was
could.
bad. It was bad.
Yeah, you could barely make out what's going on. You could barely make out what's being said sometimes, and it's just like
Yeah.
what I see. I think looks great, but it's. Did I really see what I just saw, or
Yeah.
so? Yeah, I try to avoid them when I can. Anybody have anything else they want to add to this one?
Not really. Looking forward to it, but oh yeah, apparently too they say that people that did see that thing at Celebration, that Jude Law's character might be a former Jedi, suggests that in the footage, so that's pretty neat.
Yeah, that definitely does sound interesting, and I'll try to use that right now as a segue into our next story. Where it seems like we also got news that, obviously, because this news that we had gotten about when Skeleton Crew would be released, but it seemed to come from a surprising source, I would say, as we have found out that Jaleel White, the former Steve Urkel, is actually going to be in this show as a pirate.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked about that actually. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's definitely not a name I expected to hear, and I don't expect to see. I mean, while I'm gonna say I don't want to, I hope he doesn't. I don't want to see Steve Urkel the pirate.
I don't think we'll see that. No. I don't think
I would
so.
imagine they'll try to put some kind of Easter egg, like maybe just
Imagine.
somewhere in the script, he'll say like, "Did I do that?" or something like that. You never know, you know.
Oh, I can see that. I can
Yeah.
definitely see that. Like,
But what I was saying, I was telling you guys about this. I would love for them to have just a speeder or something that looks like his Urkel mobile, like not, not the full on look of it, but just like a little nod to it or something. I think that would be fun.
Yeah, I think there could be some humor in that.
Yeah.
But
it'd be funny. Like he's like in a full like pirate like alien space makeup, and he's got like suspenders on or something. Like,
Yeah, that would be awesome.
yeah, he starts doing the walk. I might have to stop watching now.
yeah, I don't want to go too.
Yeah.
But there's gonna be, for sure. You bring in somebody like that, and they're gonna be all makeup up. You don't know if you're gonna be able to recognize them or not, right? So it'd be pretty cool if there was like a nod to Steve Urkel for sure.
I mean, that being said, I mean that was a nice little surprise of okay, we're gonna have this guy, we're gonna have him on, but yeah, like I said,
he wasn't he the one? Yeah, he was the one who actually said. Didn't he say no? He was the one who said
Yeah.
November, right?
yeah, he's the one that actually broke out that date. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay,
It's like, were you supposed to say that there, Jaleel? Like, I don't know.
It's like
I love how in this article it says he might as well have said, "Did I do that?" on live television when they asked him about the violating non-disclosure agreement. I laughed pretty hard when I read that.
yeah. But I mean, it's nice. At least we have an idea of when it's coming out now, and it's also like that little picture that I showed you guys, where it looked like they were selling a poster for the Ahsoka show, and and everybody's looking at it like, because I showed it to a couple people, and they did the same thing that you guys did, and you're like, well, it's a nice looking poster. No, read further, and it gave a tentative date for the Ahsoka show, which was August 31st.
Yeah.
So it actually kind of makes you think. It's like, what was this supposed to go? I think the Ahsoka show was supposed to go in 8 episodes.
I believe so. Yeah.
So
yeah, I think what he said is it kind of is similar to the Mandalorian series as far as like time and amount of episodes and stuff.
Well, if that's the case, then you figure if it starts as August 31st through September, October, leading right into November, where Skeleton Crew picks up, means at the end of the year where we might have pretty much a steady run of Star Wars through the end of the year, which would be nice. Which I'm all for. I mean, unfortunately, that's still a couple months away, which we don't have much to watch, but I'll take it.
Actually, you do have something to watch, Eldor. You got to get caught up with the Ahsoka stuff so you can get ready for the Ahsoka show.
And and you know, I've been thinking about that, and I think somewhere along the way we have to do a prep episode for that.
We're gonna have to. Yep, we gotta set it up. People
I
want to
mean,
know.
And I
People
think that's
want to know the episodes.
it might almost have to be sooner than later, so that at least people can start getting into that now.
Well, we can jot that down. Maybe have it for next episode that we go live.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Could be a thing in the future that we may do. Yeah.
So, but yeah. Again, definitely have to catch up on that. I know it's not just gonna be us. I know a bunch of my friends are already talking about they want to try to catch up on some, at least the important episodes, if not go back and watch as much as possible. Which I think I'm probably going to be in that as much as possible category, but at least would want to go back and check the important stuff.
Well, there's a couple lists online somewheres, and I think I reposted in our chat for Discord, I think, but if not, I think I did it in Twitter as well. But there are a couple lists where it's like they pinpoint what should be necessary to watch before the show, right? So we'll find that for everybody. So we'll let you guys know.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so I think we've covered the news. So it sounds like it's about time to get into our new segment called Versus, where we're going, where I'm sure we'll come up with like something snazzy for that.
Yeah, we gotta figure out another name for it.
But we'll start there. And Andy, this is your brainchild, so let's let you start it off.
All right, so guys, so as everybody knows, we have a Twitter account. So if you guys don't know what our Twitter account is, hold on. Apparently I don't know it either. I do know it, but it's it's at Shadow Call Pod. So it's at Shadow COLLPOD. Okay.
It's the best I could do at the time.
Yeah, I know. So that'll that's our Twitter page, and last week is when I posted, I think, on Twitter. So we wanted to start this. We were thinking of ideas, have some content for you guys, and I kind of fell upon this. Thought it'd be pretty cool for people to chime in. We didn't really get a bunch of responses on Twitter. That's gonna come. It's not a big deal, but we wanted to do this thing, which should be pretty cool. So characters versus characters, doesn't matter what era. Could be factions, could be, I don't know, whatever. Versus anything. So anyways, what we had come down with was Count Dooku versus Mace Windu.
Before you go any further, it does sound like you might still be spiking a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, though. I'm probably yelling or something.
Sorry, I don't want to interrupt you. I know you're on a roll there, but...
I wasn't on a roll. I don't know. Maybe I'm talking too close to the microphone. I don't know. I don't see spikes on my end, but maybe it's just...
Maybe it's just Discord. Discord has been kind of...
It could be.
Like last night I was hanging out on Discord with a good buddy Yeti there, and it was kind of cutting out here and there as well.
I don't know. Well, I apologize. Maybe I'm accenting on too many things. I don't know. Anyway, so Count Dooku versus Mace Windu. We want to see who would win in that battle, because we really haven't in the live action animation world. There was no fight. There was no battle against either one of them. In Attack of the Clones, they briefly were in the same scene with each other, but in that scene, Count Dooku was surrounded by his B2 droids, and Jango Fett was there, and all that stuff, right? So this was on Geonosis and Attack. So that was the only time in the live action that they were in the same scene. What we wanted to know, who would win in a battle? Who would win, guys? Like who do you think would get the upper hand in this battle of probably the two best duelists in the galaxy at that time? We just wanted to know. We wanted to see what other people thought. But I'll ask you guys. Who do you guys think would have won?
I think I'm gonna say... Wow, there's so much I could play into it. That's the thing. Because if you want to go strictly by lightsaber dueling ability and nothing else, I think Dooku would eat him up, and I don't think it's even a contest. But you want to start bringing force abilities and force powers into it, I think it evens up very quickly. And I don't think... How do I put it best? Whereas I think... Okay, so in Revenge of the Sith, Mace Windu fights Darth Sidious, Emperor Palpatine, or Supreme Chancellor Palpatine at the time. And it's kind of a fight tailor-made for him, because his lightsaber ability, Vapad, or his fighting style, is designed to take your dark side ability and use it against you. Where you have someone like Palpatine, and I mean, he's just pushing dark side power out through every bit of his fighting, and you're just playing into what Mace Windu does. That's not so apparent when it comes to Count Dooku. If you're in lightsaber dueling, this guy's just a damn good lightsaber duelist. I mean, I don't need to draw into the dark side to duel you with a lightsaber. So you're not really gonna pull that power like you would against Sidious. So I think it's a much more even battle. I think Dooku actually has Mace on the defensive most of the way through that fight. I think it's only to the point where Mace would have to almost draw him to need to use his dark side abilities to really regain the advantage. Otherwise, I think Dooku takes this one.
Okay. Swamp, what do you think?
All right, so what I think, well, both of them obviously are like very, very masterful with their lightsaber skills, but I think Mace is more of an astute student of the lightsaber arts, to the point where he would be able to predict what Count Dooku is going to do in his combat style, and I think in that way Mace would have the upper hand. But I think that like, I know Eldor, you were saying like him using the dark side kind of gives Mace the advantage because that's sort of his thing. But I think having that the power that comes from the rage and all that, I think that is kind of the upper hand that Count Dooku does have. Like added strength from, channeling his hatred and whatnot. So I think Count Dooku wins.
Well, I mean, so Count Dooku's form, Makashi. So Makashi was Count Dooku's, which is it's precise, elegant movements, and it mainly focuses on 1v1. That's kind of like how it was, right?
Right.
So in a couple instances where they're, Obi-Wan and Anakin fighting Dooku, he knows that his form of lightsaber duel is better up with a 1v1. Let's get rid of one of them. You know what I mean? Like, so he used whatever dark side power or force to get rid of the other one, right? I think, especially when it comes to Count Dooku, because I was looking at two different ways. Like, also, like, while I was looking up a bunch of stuff and whatever, you gotta look at the age of Count Dooku. I think with Dooku being, and I know the Makashi form, like his being so powerful in the dark, in the Force in general. He had good stamina, blah blah blah, all that stuff. But I think eventually, if the fight kept going on, I think Mace would eventually get the upper hand based on stamina, I think. Because another part of this whole Makashi form was he was good at retreats and stuff like that as well. So, like, there was a couple times where he retreated from certain battles and stuff. He was good at, like, I guess retreating really well. I guess, I don't know. However that he would always surround himself with a bunch of B droids or B2 droids or whatever it was, Jango Fett, all that stuff. Because I think because of his age, he knew deep down that he couldn't go on long enough in these battles. A young Dooku probably would have wiped the floor with Mace. I think, just based off of his abilities. But I think Windu has the upper hand, in the sense that he just he would feed off that rage, because Darth Tyrannus, he had that dark side in him, like, I think he would just have the upper hand in that sense. But yeah, I think Mace would ultimately win, to be honest, in my opinion. Ultimately, but I think the battle it would start off even, and then it would just, because of the stamina with Dooku, I think it would just veer into Mace Windu's side to win.
I mean, I could see that. I mean, I think if you were to like put this battle into like a computer simulation or something, you go 1,000 times or something like that. Um, it's close. I don't think this is one of those ones where it's like a blowout. Because I think there's too many different scenarios that could play out. Like I said, it could possibly go the way that I said originally, where it's just lightsaber dueling and Mace is just never able to draw into the dark side rage of Dooku, because like I said, the one thing with Dooku is when he was dueling, he never really looked like he needed to draw into the dark side. Maybe at points when he got tired, that's when he started to go to his force powers, and it showed. Or in the cases we saw him fighting Anakin wore him out, because I mean, you're looking at somebody who's in his early 20s fighting this guy who's, what was he, about 80 years old at that point?
I think he was 83, it said, yeah.
Yeah, so at that point, I could understand. I mean, someone at 20 at the height of his strength, yeah, he's going to push Dooku to his absolute limits, and if he's not drawing into the Force to stay alive, I don't know what he's doing, because it's unreal at that point. But,
yeah.
But, I mean, because even Mace, I think Mace was, I want to say he was at least in his, no younger than his 50s at that point. I don't remember exactly what his age was. But, I could see situations where, yeah, suddenly Dooku has to draw back, go to his force powers, and suddenly he plays right into Mace's hands. And then Mace just has him. The one thing I didn't even mention, now as I was thinking about it, I was listening to you guys talk, was his Shatterpoint ability, which allows him to find weaknesses in his opponents, and obviously he'd easily be able to find weaknesses in Dooku. So yeah, I still think at the end of the day it's gonna go the way of Dooku, but I could see the situations where Mace could win the battle.
Yeah, I agree with that. There's definitely like great potential for Mace to win, but I feel like Dooku just has a slight upper hand, because even with the Shatterpoint too, that kind of like Dooku is a master of deception, so he possibly would be able to trick Mace into thinking that oh, here's some weakness, and then he's actually luring him into a trap or something like to that degree. But I think the most important thing, guys, is that we need you guys, your opinions, because this, like our opinions, that's great, but it'd be nice to know what you guys think, and then we can, have a little bit more variety of comments to go through about what people think about this situation. And with all the future versus battles, we would love to hear from you guys.
Yeah, this won't be the first, so if anybody, so when we post up the second one, we would love to read people's tweets on live on air. So if anybody posts comments in it, in the posts, we would love to hear it, read them, and get your perspective on it, for sure.
Yeah, because there's definitely, I mean, obviously we came with 3 totally different perspectives, but I'm sure that there's a lot of stuff out there that you guys have that we wouldn't have even thought of, and
That's right.
And wow, I mean, you can make for some really good conversations.
Yeah, that's the most exciting thing about this segment for me, is hearing from the audience and what they think about these versus battles. I'm really looking forward to that in the future. Hopefully people will come check it out. Check out the Twitter, guys. Get your opinions in there.
Give us a follow. We have the posted. The link is for you guys to get in there and follow us. And if you're not here, it's at Shadow Call Pod. So at Shadow COLLPOD is the link.
And if you can't find that, you can come back here. If you look right underneath the screen, it'll show links to our YouTube account, our YouTube page, and our Twitter page. So you can you can link through it through that. Also, if you're on our YouTube page, there's a link to it there as well. So we definitely do what we can to make sure that you have access to everything that is us.
Whoops.
What you do?
What you do?
What I do?
But
What you do?
yeah, JLA says as long as May says mother effer, he'll be a happy man. So there you go.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll get that in the Star Wars universe, but I could definitely agree with that statement.
Definitely would be fun.
All right, so
Yeah. So we got 3 opinions. Who they think would win the battle. So yeah.
yeah, I think,
So what was it? 1 Mace, 2 Dooku?
yeah, I think
So Dooku, you guys had Dooku and I had Mace.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is where it comes in, guys. If we had more opinions, then it wouldn't be just like 2-1. What if we had like 15-10 or something? Then it could be really interesting. So yeah, make sure you guys get your opinions in on the next one.
Which we will be posting right after this episode.
Awesome. All right, so is there anything else? That being said, I think we had another fun round here. Anything else you guys want to throw in real quick, or?
Do we want to tell everybody what the next one is, or do I just post it?
Oh, let them know. I mean, I think it's better that we get it started now.
Right. All right. So, the versus number 2. So this was going to be a good one. So it's going to be. Are you able to post it on here? No. Okay. So Jango Fett versus Din Djarin. Jango Fett versus Din Djarin. Who do you guys think would win? Don't answer now. Don't answer now.
Not yet.
Not yet. I want you guys to sit on this and think about it.
Yes,
Right?
head over to the Twitter. Tell us what you
And
think.
head over to the Twitter and let us know, please. Would love to hear you guys.
It's
And
definitely gonna be an
of course,
interesting
hit
fight.
that like and follow. Like and follow as well, guys. Like and follow. Let's go.
Alright, so on that note, guys, just a little bit of a shorter episode this time around, but I think we
Oh,
covered.
yeah, I just wanted to quickly mention that
There you go.
that thing about the book. There's a new excerpt from a new book coming out, guys. Inquisitor, Rise of the Red Blade. Seems like it's about kind of a Padawan that was, going around with their master during the Clone Wars, and then they eventually, like, their journey of becoming a Inquisitor. So seems pretty interesting. Keep an eye out for that, guys. If you're interested in that excerpt, it is out there. Maybe I'll throw a link in the chat for anybody that wants to read it.
Definitely sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Is there an audio
So, yeah,
book?
I don't think yet, because it's just an excerpt, so I don't think it's released yet. So it most likely will be available as an audiobook once it releases, I imagine.
That's
Yeah,
usually the
I-
only way I can get around to doing it. Audiobooks.
I'd be surprised if it wasn't an audiobook the way things go today, so
Yeah, the market today, like, you can't expect success unless you're gonna head that route, I would say.
Yeah. Agreed.
So,
oh, and alright, so that being said, I think we've anything else you guys want to add to this, or
No, I'm good.
swap?
yeah, no, I'm good. Just wanted to mention that book, and that's about it for today.
Okay. Well, like I said, a little bit of a shorter episode, but definitely chock full of goodness as always. definitely looking forward to the next episode. We'll be, obviously, like you said, we'll have our next versus battle with Jango Fett versus Din Djarin, which is going to be a lot of fun. Obviously, we'll be covering more news, and if all goes well, hopefully I'll be done with Star Wars Jedi Survivor by then. I've been playing through. So far, it's been excellent. But hopefully, I can give you guys a full-on review of it in our next episode, and from there, yeah, just gonna hope we'll have some stuff to show you. Hey, Swampgrass, where can we find you, man?
So I'm on Twitch almost every day, guys. I'm there all the time. Twitch.tv/swampgrass420. Come check me out. Usually around 6 p.m. till 9 p.m. Eastern, roughly. And yeah, pretty much just that. Yeah, that's all.
And Andy, where can we find you, bud?
You can also find me on Twitch as well. Twitch.tv/Andy_Beads. Usually stream 1 p.m. Eastern time and Saturdays 7 a.m. Eastern time. So you can catch me there playing Marvel Snap. What we do on that channel.
Nice. And I am Darth Eldor. You can find me usually on twitch.tv/Darth Eldor. Darth_Eldor. I play Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Sometimes I play some other things, but mainly that for now. But we'll be back and doing some more stuff soon. So thank you guys once again for joining us here for episode 8 of the Shadow Collective podcast. I'm glad to have you all here for it. And we'll be hoping to see you for the next one in a couple of weeks. Alright, thanks everybody. Hope you all have a good night, and the Force will be with you always.